pray. Holy God, as we learn about Moses today, may we see how you provide all of your children with everything we need to do the work you ask of us. May we always be ready to hear your voice in unexpected places. Amen. Hi, friends. Welcome to our second lesson on Moses. Now, I want you to remember back to our lessons on Abraham. God spoke to Abraham in different ways. One time he sent 3 visitors to his tent to tell him what to do. One time it was in a very strange dream. Well, God's going to be speaking to Moses in our lesson today. So pay attention to how God does this. You know, communication can take many different forms. You're using one form right now by watching a video over the internet on your computer screen. You can use a telephone to speak to someone. Newspapers, television, radio, those are all forms of communication. Well, one way kids used to have fun communicating was using 2 cans connected with a string. Okay, it wasn't very effective, but it was fun. You would speak into one of the tin cans, and the string would sort of carry your voice to the other one where your friend could be listening. It's kind of a old-fashioned way of having fun. Well, let me show you how it works. Hang on a second. Mr. Ken? Mr. Ken, hello? Mr. Ken?
No caller ID. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Ken. It's Miss Lee.
Oh, hi, Miss Lee. I've just got done delivering the Sunday school bags. Yeah. What's going on?
Well, I'm talking to the kids about different ways of communicating, and I was explaining to them about the old way of using 2 tin cans and a string.
Oh, sure. This is the way that kids used to communicate. Hey, tell the kids that I really miss our class.
I'll do that. Right now we're studying about Moses. He's a really interesting person, and we'll be talking about how he and God communicated.
Oh, yeah, Moses was a really interesting guy. I bet you're having fun studying them. I hope it's going okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye now. Thanks for helping me demonstrate the tin can and string form of communication.
Okay, goodbye.
So as we're listening to our story today, I want you to listen for the way God chooses to communicate with Moses. Moses is called by God. Although brought up as an Egyptian, Moses never forgot that he was one of the children of Israel. One day he saw an Egyptian savagely beating an Israelite slave. Looking around to see that no one was watching, he killed the attacker and buried his body in the sand. However, word of what he had done eventually came to Pharaoh's ears, and Moses knew that his life was in danger. He left Egypt and went to the land of Midian. Presently, Moses sat down to rest near a well. The 7 daughters of Jethro, a priest in Midian, came to the well to draw water, but the local shepherds drove them away. Moses rebuked the men, then helped the young women to fill their jars. When they told their father what had happened, Jethro was so grateful that he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah in marriage. One day while tending Jethro's flock, Moses led the sheep far into the desert to the holy mountain of Sinai. The flock was quietly grazing when suddenly the Lord appeared from the middle of a bush that had burst into flames. But as Moses looked at the flames, licking and crackling among the leaves, he saw that the blazing bush was not being destroyed by the fire. Then Moses heard the voice of God calling him, "Moses, do not come any nearer, for you are standing on holy ground." At that, Moses removed his sandals and put his hands over his eyes, for he was afraid to look at God. "I have seen how my people are suffering in Egypt, where they are treated as slaves," said the Lord. "I will free them from that cruel country and give them a land of their own, a land flowing with milk and honey. You, Moses, must go and bring my people out of Egypt." "But how am I to do this?" asked Moses. "I will be with you," said the Lord. "You must tell the Israelites that I am the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham and Isaac, and they will follow you. Tell them that God, whose name is that I am, has sent you. You must go to Pharaoh and ask him in my name to release the Israelites. He will be angry and refuse your request, but I will curse Egypt and cause such horrors to fall upon the land that Pharaoh will no longer defy me, and he will let you go." "But what if they do not believe that I am sent by God?" "Moses, what are you holding in your hand?" "A staff," said Moses. "Throw it on the ground." And Moses threw down his staff, which instantly became a serpent, writhing in the dust. "Now lift it up by the tail." As Moses picked up the snake, it turned back into a wooden staff. "Now look at your hand," God commanded him. And Moses saw with horror that his hand was covered with oozing sores. "Look again." And Moses looked, and his hand was smooth. "But, Lord, I am slow of speech," said Moses. "Then your brother Aaron shall speak for you. Now go, do as I have told you, and I will be with you," said God. So, After living a happy pastoral life watching Jethro's sheep for about 40 years, Moses gets this instruction from God to go and help with this mission God has to free the people. And we thought Moses' early life was interesting. It's about to get really crazy. So God has revealed himself to Moses. He's given Moses instructions, and he's reassured Moses that he will be with him. I'd like to talk for a minute about that phrase that God used to reveal himself to Moses. In our reading, he said he was that I am. Well, the actual words used in the Bible, it's a 4-letter word, YHWH. And that's the name God used to reveal himself to Moses. It's usually written Yahweh and comes from the Hebrew verb to be. It actually means the one who is always there. Did you notice how Moses seemed reluctant to follow God's instructions? Moses seemed very reluctant to do what God told him to do. In fact, Moses offered up quite a few excuses not to do what God was asking him to do. I know I've been guilty of not doing the work I need to attend to. Sometimes it just seems so much easier to just give an excuse rather than do what needs to be done. Well, each of Moses' excuses was met with a response from God, a reassurance that God would provide. We need to remember this in our lives. Did you notice that when God spoke to Moses, just as he had when he spoke to Abraham, God used the phrase, go and? Notice that when people, like Moses, are called by God, the word is always go and. We saw this in the story of Abraham, and we will see this in stories about Gideon, Jeremiah, and the prophets. Jesus himself tells us to go and baptize and preach. And did you notice the method God used to speak to Moses? Yes, it was a burning bush. What an eye-catching way to communicate. A bush that burns but is not consumed by the fire. Wow. For our film this week, we're gonna watch a screen grab that I made of the movie from DreamWorks called The Prince of Egypt. You may have seen it. I never had. And when I saw this clip, I was astounded at its reverence and beauty. So I wanted to make sure you saw it too. Enjoy.
prince of Egypt, the son of the man who slaughtered their children. You've chosen the wrong messenger. How can I even speak to these people? Who made man's power? Who made the dead, the the seeing or the blind? Did not I? Now go! So I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders. Take the staff in your hand, Moses. With it, you shall do my wonders. I shall be with you, Moses.
Thanks for joining us this week, friends. See you next week.